How's everyone doing? There we go. My name is Jerron Smith. I work with American Property Owners Alliance. And this has been a movement that we've been working on for about 2 years, and it's focused on educating the community, teaching them principles around home ownership and how it can build wealth. And so we're really excited to be in Chicago. I'm a Midwestern myself. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so don't hold that against me. But I love the Midwest. I especially love the Midwest when it's summertime. So, but with that being said, we wanted to kind of get us kicked off. We're very thankful for having Pastor Brooks here and hosting us here in Chicago. And so, with that being said, Pastor Brooks is going to kick us off with an invocation.
Welcome, everybody. Let's welcome our guests from Atlanta and D.C. and all the other places. Thank them for coming. And then we want to wish happy birthday to the mayor of, 2045, Jamal Green. But thank y'all for coming. My prayer is our church has really been focused on financial literacy. And all this summer we've been talking about securing the bag God's way. So now this gives you an opportunity to take some of the principles you've been learning and apply them so that we can get you into ownership and build wealth and create wealth for generations to come, to be a blessing to your children's children. Amen. So let's pray. Lord, we thank you today for your grace and for your mercy. Lord, we're so grateful and thankful for the brothers and sisters that have come here to just share with us on how we can increase our wealth, how we can be better to bless our families, in a better position to bless our families and our communities and our nation. Lord, bless our time together. Let it be well spent. Let us help us to learn all the principles that we need to learn. Today, I pray for a special anointing in this place. We love you and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Come on, let's give them a hand clap one more time, everybody.
Thanks so much, Pastor. Now, Chicago, aren't we family? Yeah. Aren't we family? Yeah. Well, can we move up a little closer, get a little bit more intimate? And, we got a couple tables that are full in the middle. If y'all don't mind moving a little bit closer, giving that more family feel, that'd be great. Amen, amen. Don't be shy. God bless that. And so, without any further ado, I wanted to kick us off by introducing Colin Allen. Colin Allen has been the leader of our movement on home ownership. He spent some time working with the National Association of Realtors, and he's the executive director of American Property Owners Alliance. And so I'm going to invite him up here to kind of talk more about what APOA does and let him kind of get into the program. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Jerron, and good afternoon, everybody. It is great to be here in Chicago. Thanks for having us. Really excited to have you join us today to talk about housing and home ownership and how to create generational wealth. And really what it means for building up your family for years to come. Again, I'm Colin Allen. I'm the executive director of the American Property Owners Alliance. I want to share a little bit about the organization, just since this is the first time we're here in Chicago. The American Property Owners Alliance it's a DC-based organization. We were launched in 2020, and we're a nonprofit, nonpartisan advocacy organization. So we do a lot of work in front of Congress and across the country, advocating for policies that are going to make homeownership more attainable and more accessible, and to protect the folks who own property already. So for the past 5 years, our focus has been simple but powerful. Protect property owners, expand property ownership opportunities. It's something that we know that's key for building wealth and long-term financial security for millions of Americans. Our work takes us to communities across the country. This year and here recently, we've been to Little Rock, we've been to Memphis, we're looking to go to Detroit, we're going to Houston later this year. But this weekend, we're focused on Chicago. And we're really excited and glad to be here and looking forward to engaging with you today. We're here at New Beginnings because Pastor Corey Brooks and the church family care deeply about strong communities, economic empowerment, and they view ownership and entrepreneurship as important building blocks to achieving those goals. Today's program, we're going to talk about financial planning, financial education, and then we're going to welcome some community leaders, housing experts, and financial professionals to the stage for a conversation, be an opportunity for a back and forth with everybody here to talk about homeownership. I hope everybody here leaves with something that they didn't come in the door with today, and really gets that understanding of how homeownership unlocks potential, helping you build a stronger community and create economic security for you and your family. We're excited to answer your questions about today's housing market, the overall home buying process, and what we may be seeing here in Chicago that's specific to the local market, so that everybody here leaves confident, feeling that they've got the knowledge, not just how to get in the door, but how to protect that investment once you've achieved your dream. So when we visit communities around the country, the Alliance relies pretty heavily on our local partners to make sure that these events are a success. So I want to take a quick minute to thank our partners here, our hosts, New Beginnings Church, and Pastor Corey Brooks, especially Marita Golston as well, who's been very helpful in as we've set up here. Project Hood, the Douglas Leadership Initiative, the National Black Empowerment Council, and Financial Foundations University. So thank you for joining us today. Hope you enjoy the conversations that we're going to have about homeownership, creating opportunity and security for your family and the Chicago community. But before we get things really kicked off here, it is my pleasure to present the inaugural Key Award for dedication to homeownership and the opportunity that it unlocks. Our award recipient today is an activist, entrepreneur, maybe the mayor in 2045, who's been a tireless advocate for Chicago for economic opportunity and homeownership. He's the co-founder of Majesty All-Stars, youth mentoring initiative, and My Turn to Own, a nonprofit focused on increasing homeownership opportunities. It's also his birthday, so if we could give a big hand. And I think he's fresh in from, did you go skydiving today, or are we? Please give a round of applause for Jamal Green. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Wow. My pleasure to present you the inaugural Key Award for your work on homeownership. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Amazing, amazing. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful key. Thank you so much for this award. Everything that you guys are going to see today, this is very important when we talking about creating generational wealth. Our company is Generational Green, and we help folks each and every day become homeowners. We are actually, CHA called me the other day because we have been helping a lot of clients who have vouchers turn them in for $20,000 grants. And they've been buying property buildings and things of that sort. And I'm the number one in the city right now with CHA. So we're doing God's work, y'all, for sure. And making sure that people are educated. And it all started with just some years ago when I fought Chase Bank. How many of y'all remember when I fought Chase Bank? And we made them give back $1 billion to the south and west sides of Chicago, because they were redlining the south and west sides of Chicago. And so after pushing them to give back $1 billion over 5 years, we made sure that we created organizations, supported organizations that's going to help folks become homeowners. One thing about creating generational wealth is you got to own something. You got to own a property, own your home, right? That's the first thing that you can do. And that's what everybody in here, and I hope even if you're not a homeowner yet, that you're going to do it soon. Do not wait. Take the advantage of your credit bag. Get your credit together now. Don't procrastinate. If you need if you need some grants, there are folks that can help you with grants. 98% of our clients spend less than $3,000 at the closing table. So that is an opportunity for everybody to purchase property and create generational wealth. So I want to thank you for this. And I also want to thank Pastor Brooks. Can we give him another round of applause? I'm 30 today, and back when I was a teenager, I was right with Pastor Brooks walking these streets right here. And now we look across the street and see that project is about to be built. And so somebody who has been tireless in our community for many years. And I love Pastor so much and the whole Project Hood family. Thank you so much for this award. Thank you.
Awesome. And so this is a good kickoff to the next part of our program where we're inviting up Larice Purnell. And so just with the same energy that Jamal just gave you, Larice is actually going to get in the weeds and kind of give you the education you need in order to prepare for home ownership or keep your home or look at the home as a tool for wealth building. And so I also want you all to know that you all should have got a raffle ticket. If you hadn't got a raffle ticket, make sure you go and get one, because at the end of the program, we will be giving out an important prize, and I don't want you to miss out on that. And so without any further ado, I wanted to invite Larice Purnell up to the stage. Thank you.
No, I ain't gonna let y'all get away with that now. We getting ready to get started, y'all. Come on, we came all the way to Chicago to be with you here today. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We're getting ready to break some generational curses and build wealth in our families. Just my family? Your family? Or my family? Your family? Who? Your family. Point yourself and say, my family. Okay, only takes one risk taker to change the game. And is that going to be you? Oh my goodness, that steak and chicken got to you. I knew I should have came before the meal. No, but honestly, again, my name is Larice Purnell. I'm happy to be here, and this is my second weekend in a row. Some of you guys saw me at the church last week, and I want to give it up for Pastor Brooks again for allowing us. Yeah, y'all could do better than that. The man is changing lives. We are here because God is using him in this community. So again, I just want to thank all of you for showing up on this Saturday, because you could have been a lot of other places, right? Shaking your head. I'm thinking about it now. No. So what we're going to do is dive into some financial information. And what I want you to do, I'm going to know I'm not doing my job if you don't pull your phones out. Because it's not about just you getting the information and hoarding it. It's about making sure that we break generational wealth and curses in our families. So I want the information not to just stay here in this room, but go beyond here today and go to your family, our young people, right? Because the worst saying they say is, let life be your best teacher. That's the worst saying I hear. Let life be your best teacher. Why? Because you have bad credit, they have to have bad credit. Why? Because grandma and them didn't have life insurance and have no money. We don't have to have no money. I want you to look at your neighbor and say, no, you ain't got no money. Look, because I'm going to have something, right? That's why we're here today. So, look, y'all looking at me. They like, don't be pointing at me. I got some money. So, but no. So what we're going to do is go through these slides. You're going to take pictures, and then we're going to jump into this panel and give you some more information. So if you do the work, and I'll tell you that I'm going to jump in this. This is just my intro. But when I pulled up last Saturday, and I told Jerron and Colin and the team and Carrie Ann that I knew that this was the assignment that we came to right on time. It's places we pull up, and it's like, okay, we're just doing the work. But when I saw that building, and I saw opportunity, unity, that stuck with me all the way home. And I said, if the people right here in this community, if the people that go to this ministry, if the people who want to create generational wealth come to this event and take the information, you could go on that same journey as that building. Because just like that building, guess what? They didn't just drop the building and it was done, right? They had to do what? It was a process, right? The first thing they built there, though, was what? What do you have to lay first? Foundation, right? And then you keep building up, floor after floor, windows after windows, heat. But that's like your financial life. You got to build that credit up. You have to learn to save. You have to learn to invest. Then you get that home, and you actually buy a property. So again, all you got to do is take the same journey. The pastor said something that was so powerful. He said next May or June. Next, y'all heard him. He said we're going to try to pay that thing off, right? So start now. I'm going to hold y'all accountable. So when we come back, I'm going to say, I hope you took that journey. in the next 10 months that you do the same thing that you got to watch every day. So when you come to church, you come down this street and you ride and you see them building, I want you to look at yourself and say, am I taking the journey? Am I building? Or was I the same way I was a month ago as they keep adding to this building? So let that be your barometer, okay? Y'all with me? Oh, my goodness. Y'all, I done came all the way from Cleveland. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. And my energy is crazy now. But let's go, Marita. Okay, will you leave bills or benefits? Pull your phones out because y'all all have them. Don't act like you don't have them. That's the one thing you guys know. If you leave home, you will drive and turn all the way back around for. You leave your kids at home. You see y'all laughing. Y'all say, I might not go get them. Don't say that. Don't say that out loud. We are on camera. I don't want y'all to get caught on camera. But no, I want y'all to pull something up real quick. Look up what the average black family's net worth will be the year 2053. Some of y'all know it because I said it. Where we at? Somebody shout it out to me. Google it. Zero. So that's when you guys see me stare at you and stare you in your eyes, like I'm not here to play any games. I'm here this is a God assignment to make sure we change lives. Because the only time most people change something in life is when they get mad at themselves. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You go to the gym when you look in that mirror and you like, man, I used to be able to fit this 4 months ago and I can't put it on. Just me. I ain't insulting y'all. I'm talking about myself. You get mad and you change that, right? Well, I need some of y'all to get mad about your finances, mad about your investment, mad about not buying your first home. Because one thing God ain't making, he ain't making no more land. So what you waiting on to buy? You paying rent anyway. So why not pay yourself? Why not build a legacy? So again, let's go ahead and get started, y'all. So net worth of a homeowner is 46 times greater than somebody that rents. 46 times. I'm sorry, I don't have my clicker. Let's go. We keep rolling. Rita. Marita. Say, so these are some questions. Everybody take a picture of this. Questions. What kind of home does my family need? What kind of home does my family want? And just because you want it don't mean you need it. Just because the bank said yes don't mean you should say yes yourself. Because some of y'all have been in a house, and you ever been in that house where your friend tore you around it, but they don't go to like 3 rooms because the door is closed? Why is the door closed? Say it loud. Ain't no furniture, right? Because they bought the house they want and not the house they need. So again, let's not buy too much house because then that impacts other areas of your finance, what we're going to talk about as well. Because one thing to buy the house is one thing to keep the house. I was just in a city, the average person keeps their house in that particular city 7.5 years. So I could teach y'all all day, let's get the house. But if you're not going to keep it, then you're not leaving a legacy. You're actually putting yourself further in debt. And then you really don't leave a legacy. So again, should I rent or would I be better off buying? What kinds of space do I need for my family's activities? How much money is available for me to pay? Jamal talked about that when he got up here, and that's a great thing. And I would be remiss, and y'all going to give me a loud shout on this one. I want y'all to give it up for APOA for traveling the country and dedicate to making sure that we educate our communities to make sure we create homeowners. And y'all taking that for granted. How many people in here own a home? Okay, take y'all hands out. How many people don't? I know it's obvious, but I want to see that in the air. Raise your hand. Act like you in church and you got the spirit. Let's go. Let me see it. I saw y'all in church when Marvin Sapp was here. I saw y'all. Okay, so it's the best time. What is the best time for me to buy? Let's keep it. And we're going to go past that. Let's go. So sometime again, I got to wake and poke a sleeping bear and give you statistics to change. 45% 45, you guys see homeownership rates between different communities. And the number actually went back about 1.5%. So again, challenge. Credit scores, you see that. And y'all probably like, man, Larice, why you here beating us up? Because I believe that if I push you, then today won't be like the other talks you've been to. Because y'all been to other talks. You've been on Instagram. You've been liking those photos. You've been listening to those videos, but you're still not activating. And today, the challenge to you, when I'm not here, I want y'all to think about this conversation we give you. That today changes everything moving forward. Who with me on that? Who's going to make some changes after today? You're not here on Saturday because again, you could be somewhere else. You could be at the parade right now, the festival that I couldn't get through. And I was like, what's going on in Chicago? So, but you're here. So let's go. Now, this is the one. Did you know statistically, and I like to give statistics, I'm an accountant by trade. A lot of you guys know that. I said it last week. And so every day I look at portfolios. I don't care what your title is. I don't care if you're a physician, you're a teacher, if you're a custodian, if you're a bus driver. I don't care. Because I see the challenges across everybody. I do hundreds of tax returns a year. And I get to see what we're not doing. I get to see no investments. I get to see no home ownership. So when I look at that, the average net worth of the average black family is less than $10,000. What's the number one thing that helps you create generational wealth? Say it loud. But we're decreasing in home ownership. So you don't have no investments. You don't have no life insurance. And that phone you holding up, and that's you, my brother. Because he like, man, don't be talking about me. Look, I ain't got no security. I don't want to, look, he going to give me, like, don't be, look. He like, bro, don't be, what you doing now? I'm joking. But no, that phone we holding up, and I always say this. Do you really care if you drop that phone? But if you drop it, you have what? And look, so you got a phone case, and you got insurance, and you got a screen protector, right? Woo, you can't even see it. So you got all those layers to it, right? Full coverage on the phone. Oh, I'm about to get you. You walked right into the trap, Jerron. She walked right into the trap. We will insure those phones, but we won't insure our lives. Ooh. So you care more about dropping a $1,000 phone than leaving millions of dollars to your family. Ooh. Yeah, Colin, this might be our last time back. Let's go. Let's go. I thought we were coming back. I see some of the eyes rolling now. Let's go. Keep going. Let's go. Now I'm going to give y'all some tips. Come on, Marita. Let's go. We're going to go. Let's go. We kind of talked through that. We're talking about that. Let's go. Keep going. Whew. Home ownership rates. We see the disparity in income in the city. We're going to keep going. I want to get to my tips now. Let's go. Because this is where we're going to get to work. Got it. Let's go. So when you look at rent, you see right now, average cost for rent. Anybody believe that? Yes. Look, y'all shouted yes. You like, I just paid it. It's the first right now. Just paid that last week. And I was mad when I paid it. Who was mad when they paid it? Only me? Oh, I get mad every month. So y'all in the house of God not telling the truth? So raise your hand if you was happy paying your mortgage and your rent. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. They said nobody, right? Let's go. Okay. Marita, we're going to go to the tips now. I want to go to 25. Let's hit it. So right here, let's stop right here. Everybody take your phones out. Now we're getting ready to take notes now because we're here to talk about home ownership. So who is on your team? And I'm going to talk about a couple teams today. And we got some great speakers on this panel that's going to really unpack some stuff for you. And that's going to be very impactful. But who is on your team? You can't build wealth You can't make large purchases if you don't have experts that help you. Pay people to solve problems. So if you can solve a problem, you can get paid. And anything you do in life that has to do with your money, don't always try to be the expert. Anybody know an entrepreneur that got like 15 jobs to run that company? They the marketing, look, y'all laughing. Y'all like, yes, that's me. I'm the marketing person. I'm the cleaner. I do the cooking. I do this. I do that. I'm an entrepreneur, so I know it. Oh, I know it. So these people, you got to get your inspector, your appraiser, your surveyor, your insurance agent, your housing counselor. Because at the end of the day, I want you to buy a house. But I want you to buy in a smart and educated way. That's why we brought the information. Because sometimes people jump off the porch. And they jump off the porch and they don't own that home long, like I said. Because they didn't hire experts to make sure they bought it the right way. And that's what I'm going to challenge you to do. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Okay. Now, 6 steps. I'm going to give you a couple of steps and they're going to break it down more. Yeah, y'all going to get tired of it. Go ahead. I told you we're going to be doing this all day. Pull those phones out. Let's go ahead and click, 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 click. Okay, so getting those finances in order. And again, when I came over here and I saw the project, I got so excited. I said, I was so crazy. I started to call Colin and say, can we preach inside the project? Like, can we go out there and teach? I wanted to stand and teach in the project, Duran. But I said, that might have been a liability. So I'm talking about insurance agents. That might not have been good. We all need hard hats. Because I wanted y'all to see it. See it. So, y'all, yeah, she said, I saw it. You see it every day, right? Yeah, so get your finances in order. Pre-qualify for a mortgage. Search for that home. Agree to terms. And then obtain that mortgage. Prepare for and attend the closing. And there's other steps they'll talk about today. Keep going. So who knows what a PFS is? You know what? This is so crazy. And I hate to say, but I'm going to just be real. My favorite rapper is Jay-Z. Right? Anybody? Just me? My man. Jay-Z, right? So Jay-Z, in one of his songs, he talked about how many billionaires come out of his house. Right? So who are some of the billionaires that came? He said Ree and Bron is a rock boy too. But who are the other ones he named? So what black billionaires do y'all know? What billionaires do you know? Name. Somebody's net worth that has $1 billion. Who? Rihanna. Byron Allen. Kanye. That's what we said. Kanye. Yeah. Oprah. Who else? Who? Rihanna. Yeah. Who else? Michael Jordan. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Because it's a whole lot. Let's go. Who? Tyler Perry. Who we got back there? Tyler Perry? Okay. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. You. Shout that. She said a Billy. I saw that. I just got frustrated. You know why? Because that was another trick. Because, what you got? John Hope Bryant. Okay. David Stewart. Oh, yeah. Keep going. Y'all ain't going to stop. I just told you I got frustrated. Y'all going to keep going. Y'all going to keep going. So now, what is your net worth? What is your net worth? Do you know it? If I gave you this mic right now, would you break down your debt or your assets and tell me what you're worth? You would. So a couple of y'all said you would. But most of us don't know that number. So if we're going to create generational wealth and build legacies, we have to know what the foundation is. So PFS, everybody write this down. Write this down. Because you can't, this is the starting point right now. If you've never done a PFS, a personal financial statement, it's going to tell you all your liabilities. It's going to tell you all your assets. And it's going to tell you your net worth. Because if I don't know where I'm going, where do I start? Last thing, let me see my phone real quick. And you know what? I'm so disrespectful. I brought my beautiful wife here with me from Cleveland and did not acknowledge her to start. That's going to be a long flight home. Whew. I'm so sorry. And I'm in the house of God too. She is going to kill me on that plane, Colin. This is the last trip we taking. So no. Now, everybody do me a favor. Pull your phones out. Point your screen towards me. I want to see some screens real quick. Point your screens towards me. Well, that's a good picture. Let me see. Oh, that's the family. Yeah. Oh, that's a great picture. Yeah. Oh, okay. Just playing. Okay. Any pictures? Oh, who got a real nice picture I can see? Oh, that's okay. That's good. Just kind of got it what it is, right? Yeah, what it is. That's what it is. You get not really nothing happening? Okay, what you got going? Oh, you videotaping right now. Oh, that's a family. Oh, smart. That's good. Let's go. Okay, where we at? Ooh. I'm going to get him. Ooh. Y'all, I'm not getting invited back, but I'm just going to go for it today. Y'all already know what y'all look like. Why is that on your screensaver? Why? Do you know the average person looks at their phone 356 times a day? If I want to accomplish goals, where should I put it? What did I say right there? Goals. I ain't teaching y'all nothing I don't do myself. Because I'm going to tell y'all now, this also will teach me sometime what calls not to take. Now, don't cut y'all mama and them off today. Y'all cousin gonna call and y'all gonna be like, hey, you ain't a part of the goal. You ain't a part of the goal. But some of those people are taking y'all away from y'all goals. Right? Especially on a Saturday night. They're like, hey, you want to hang out? And then we get paid Friday. We kick it all weekend. And by Monday, we wait for Friday again. So setting goals, everybody, put them on that phone. Every 6 months, I change them after I get them accomplished. You don't have to put big goals on there. Things because small wins equate to big wins. Right? Yes. So, again, let's go. Keep going. We got it. Okay, some of the upfront costs that we should expect. Count the costs. The word talks about that. Counting the costs. Because we say we're going to buy a home and sometimes we don't know all the costs. Educated buyers. That's what we're making. Okay, down payment, closing costs, escrow, reserves, moving in. And reserves is probably one of the most important things on here, y'all. Why is reserves? Somebody tell me why reserves are important. They want more money. But why is that also important? Somebody tell me why is reserves important as well? Shout it. What's up? What we got? Tell me why. And what does that do? What did I talk about earlier? Most people buy them and they lose them by when? What years? How many years did I say? 7 years. But what does reserves do? Covers you. So again, you buy the house. Don't go broke buying the house. That's all I'm saying. So we got the beautiful house because I'm going to tell you guys it's like a new car. A couple months later, you driving and you mad about that new car. Because you like that new car smell done went away and it ain't as new anymore when that note is coming. Right? It's like that house. You ain't going to have a family gathering every month. And believe it, when it's time to pay the bills, they not there for that. Right? They not like us. Especially not right there. Right? Okay. So let's go. Keep going. Reader, let's go. I'm going to go to the 25. Let's start going because I want to get to that. Let's go right here. Now, stop right here. This is where we're going to take it slow. Every phone should be out right now. When I tell you I wrote these out for you all, and I took time to think about areas everybody needs to consider, and I don't care what level you're at. We got to pay off debt, create financial freedom. We got to make sure that we understand our bills, and some of y'all who got mortgages now, you're paying it monthly. Why are we not paying it twice a month? Come on. My guy from Chase, he already know. But guess what? Nobody's sending you a letter to tell you to do it. How many years does it take off for a 30-year mortgage if I pay twice a month? 5 to 7 years. So y'all thought y'all had to do 30 years. But you're paying it anyway. You're paying it anyway, everybody. And then they're going to talk about later, if you put 1,000 on it a year, if you pay an extra payment a year, now a 30 becomes a 20, an 18. It's all strategy, y'all. So let's make sure we do that. You can do it with your car as well. And then if you have, who has a savings account in here? Savings account. You getting paid interest? Some of y'all like, you said, what did you just say? Almost zero. We got work to do then. What you're going to do is go to bankrate.com, put your zip code in for the area you live in. It'll tell you the bank paying the highest amount of interest. Bankrate.com. Bankrate. Because right now in Cleveland, I think I'm getting 4.25%. 4.25%. You got money sitting there anyway. Why not make some money? Love the banks, but they're making money on the money. So why shouldn't you? Okay? Build and hire, and I call this the power in my book, which I'm going to give you a signed copy before you leave today. I have the power of 5. The 5 people, if you want to create wealth, you should have in your life. Your accountant, your attorney, your insurance broker, your banker, and your financial advisor. And most of you say, I can't afford it. That's what most people say. Yes, you can. Why can't you? Tell me a couple reasons why. Whoo! I should have gave you the mic. Come up here and do that. So no. But also, when you go into for example, a Chase, there's about 3 or 4 offices in there. And who are those offices? My man, can you stand up, sir? Stand up and shout. What offices are in those banks? And the mortgage lender, right? And the mortgage loan. Does it cost anything for them to sit down with them? Not a dime. So you have your money in a bank, and they're investing your money every day, and they have everything you need to create your money team, and you can't name 5 people on your team right now. I told y'all we have work to do, right? But it's okay. Because Jerron already started off. We family in here, right? So we just having, we in grandma's living room right now just having a conversation how we're going to make sure the family is good. So plan for retirement. You're at work. This frustrates me as an accountant. I go in, Shara who will tell you, I go into companies. They're offering a 401k, a 403b, state fund, which you have to do it on that side of it. But less than 20% of the people are getting a match. So you have a match, and you don't even invest in that 401k plan. Why are you living for the day like tomorrow's not going to happen? So we say we people of faith that I want to live a good life, an abundant life. I don't want to owe no man anything, but I'm working in debt. I'm not investing in my future. I'm not building legacies. So the question I said, I hate the hashtags on social media. Everybody, hashtag get in the bag, hashtag building legacies. What legacy? What legacy? Are we just talking about Jay-Z's album? What are we talking about? So let's go to the next one. Keep them phones popping. Come on, let's go. Open the HSA. I really want to get into taxes with y'all right now. I definitely want to, I'll talk about that all night long, but we'll do the HSA. And number 5, life insurance. One of the last items out there that we can transfer wealth tax-free. But we value having insurance on the phone, the car, and the house. Which the car we're probably not going to leave to a child because we probably didn't get the insurance that covers when I die. So the car goes back to the company when I pass, and then the phone has no value when I'm gone because they already have their own phone. So we insuring all this stuff that we don't leave as a part of the legacy. I'm sorry. Okay. So lifehappens.org. I need for you, right now, if you have $50,000 in life insurance, I need you to assess how much I actually need. You pass away, you have the home, you have kids that still got to go to college, you have all this debt. So if I leave 50 grand and I'm 40 years old, I have 25 more years to work, and I make $100,000 a year, that's $2.5 million. But you're leaving 50,000. So it's this thing of, I say, my wife, what do I want her to do if God takes me home now? I actually want her to smile and cry at the funeral. I want her to smile and cry. Like, man, I'm going to miss him, little tears, but man, I'm going to be okay. Because that's leaving a legacy, right? You want your kids thinking about, and some of y'all think that's unrealistic, but you're losing young people now. I've lost young people in my family, 30, 40, 20s, and we doing GoFundMes. But I went to the funeral, whole Louis Vuitton outfit, had him sitting up outside the casket with a GoFundMe. So the outfit was $2,500 to $3,000, but no life insurance. So what are we prioritizing? And again, I'm not here to beat you up. It's not everybody. We all make some mistakes, but I'm challenging you to change your mindset. Live like no other so you can give like no other. See, y'all thought I was going to say live like no other so you can live like no other. And Dave Ramsey says that. So you can be a blessing to the people while you actually living and give them their flowers while they're living. So let's go. Let's move on to the next one. Establish a trust or a will. So I'm going to tell you guys, and I know I got a couple more minutes, I'm going to wrap up. I'm standing before you here today. The first real conversation since I lost the first woman I love in my life. And that was my mother. Just lost her on April 11th. And when I tell you guys, she asked me something a month before she passed. She said, you do this work, but why do you really do it, and what do you want the outcomes to be? And I know that was when she passed, I realized that was a goddess question he put in her spirit. It was, I want to change lives. I want to teach some of you. If only 5 of you in this room become a homeowner, only 5 of you leave a legacy, then we've done our work. And I'll tell you, I learned through that process how to deal with life insurance, how to deal with family, and I teach this stuff every day. How all that stuff changes a life. How she left a legacy. And my mother, I'm going to tell y'all now, we didn't have a lot. Grew up living in homeless shelters. If my father walked in this room right now, I wouldn't even know it was him. Never met him a day in my life. And she just did what she did, man. Took care of me and my siblings. And I'm telling you, but what she did do is she valued having life insurance. When she didn't have, I said, Mom, why you spend all that money on life insurance? Because she's like, I have to leave something. If we're born poor, it's not our fault. But if we die poor, whose fault is it? Okay. So let's go. Thanks, Marie. So we're going to get that will in place. Keep going. Keep snapping it, y'all. We only got 10 more. We got 3 more slides, and I'm done. I'm going to get out y'all way. Because I tell you this, information, tools. If you activate a couple of them, you'll see a difference in your life, I guarantee. We're going to purchase that home. Who in here came because they ready to purchase that home? Get excited about it, man. We're going to celebrate now. Because I'm not going to be here, so I wish we had a cake here. We'll cut the cake right now, Anime. We'll cut the cake. So let's go. Online business, savings account. I need you to save 50, 20, 30. Say it with me. 50, 20, 30. Anybody know what that means? 50% of every check. I said something like this in Cleveland recently. I'm going to back up to what I was saying about 50. And I thought about it today when I got on the plane. We're going to have to adjust some stuff. We're not getting on planes without plans. Y'all missed what I said. Don't hashtag Jamaica. Don't hashtag Puerto Rico. Don't hashtag Cancun. I don't care if you were in London. I don't care if you were in Belize. Unless we have some money put away. We ain't getting on planes no more. We not driving foreigns and we faking. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's go. I'm going to come back to the 50, 20, 30 because y'all mad. Let's go. Challenge. Okay, everybody, you're going to do this. It's going to be the first thing you're going to start. It's going to be the first. You're going to do that PFS, 60 days of bank statements. 60 days. Why 60 days important? 1 month, it just might be an off month. 60 days, you got a kind of rhythm. I always tell clients, I can look at your bank statements and tell your life. It tell me if you like to hang out, you like to shop, you know your favorite restaurants. It tell me, look, tell me if you don't like to tithe. I'm sorry. Y'all laughing inside. But y'all ain't gonna laugh out loud. I'm joking. But no, it tells me everything about you. For that 60 days, what you gonna do? 3 color highlighters. We're gonna get a bright yellow. Then we're gonna get a blue. And we just figure whatever, green or whatever. But I want that yellow to be very, very bright. And I want you to take the yellow, highlight everything that's a want. A want. Then that green is going to be those things that builds assets. If you're doing investments, if you're saving. And then that other color you're going to have for all your needs. That's going to be for the rent that ain't nobody happy about. The mortgage ain't nobody happy. Utilities. Which one y'all think going to be the brightest? And y'all going to be like, Reese make me so mad. But you're going to see. So then what I want you to go back to that PFS. And when you say you can't afford to invest and save, stop fooling yourself. You just might have to stop pulling to them drive-thrus as much. Stop doing all this digital. You got more subscriptions than you have money going into savings. You got, I can't even name them all. There's so many of them now. Paying $35 for, give me one. I don't even really watch TV. What is it? Netflix. What's the other one that's real expensive? Because it come out on ours. Oh, yeah, she knew it. Amazon Prime. Look, she was Wade. And you see Gerard, she's like, Amazon Prime. Yeah, I see that. I'm like, gosh, how many subscriptions do we have? No, joking. But you got $200 in subscriptions, but you don't even put $200 in savings. And you don't even get your company's match. That would be $75. Priorities. You have the money to switch this up here. Once you switch this, game over. You will change your life, your kids' life, because don't believe. Why do we think they don't watch us? She asking right now. She asking, let me see the debit card. That plastic thing, look. Ooh, she writing the stuff down now. Some of y'all ain't took one note. She talk about debt on her sheet. Literally, credit and debt on her sheet right now. Okay. They ain't paying attention. Let's go. Last couple slides, we done. Negotiate debt. We talked about looking at expenses you're going to cut. You might eat out 5 days a week. Who eat out more than 3 times a week? Now y'all scared. Now everybody like, I'm eating, not tricking me again. More than 3 times, right? Average meal. Average meal costs $50, $150, $600, $7,200 a year. $7,200 at $50. Let me ask Starbucks. You done said it now. You there 5 days a week because you're addicted to it. And you like the little 3-floor one downtown. You know that real big one? I'm like, man, people standing around the block. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's $50 a week. $200, $2,400. I just told you guys $9,600. But the average American does not. Less than 67% of people have $1,000 saved that they don't need to pay a bill. Why don't I have a house? Why don't I have investments? Why don't I have? Because what you've been doing is you've been floating out here on this beautiful lake out here in a boat with a slow leak. And guess what? When it's a slow leak, you don't even realize you're drowning. Until, guess what? You're underwater. Let's go. Last one. Then I'm out for real. This is the last right here. So 21 days. Larice, Colin, Jerron, we are Carrie-Ann. We're not here. But what I want you to do is think about us for the next 21 days. And you're going to activate some of this work. Don't come to this stuff and keep getting the information. Listen, learn, activate. My wife talks about listen, learn, activate. So if you don't activate enough, you wasted your time. But that's not why you came. I can see in your eyes you didn't come to play. So we're going to do that. Last one I'll say, we're going to set the goals. We're going to take those pictures off because we got them all around our house anyway. So we already know what everybody look like. You're going to see them every morning anyway. So we're going to put some goals on those so you can really challenge yourself. And the last one is legacy box. Legacy box. Love my mother. I teach this. She didn't have a legacy box. And I'll say this. 3 sisters. 2 different religions. Different thoughts on how to handle death. Different thoughts on where things should go. No direction. Love her. So you think I see people fall out about a washer and dryer? I'm not lying, right? Don't put a car into it. Oh, don't put a caddy in it now. Whoo, we won't talk forever. And then don't talk about those cousins y'all ain't seen in about 15 years that pull up. Like, oh, where that fur coat that she used to have? Oh, just me, right? Oh, don't let her have some jewelry. Oh, don't let her have a closet full of purses. I'm going to keep going. Woo, keep going. So put that will in place. Put those accounts in place. Have those beneficiaries. Have that will. And put it in. You go to Sam's Club, Costco, whatever. Get you a fireproof safe. Put all your important documents in one place. Don't have people tearing the house up, wondering if you had a will, wondering if you had. How many people pass and you like, I wonder if they have insurance? Because, grandma and them used to be like, when I asked my grandma, like, hey, grandma, you got insurance? I don't want to talk about that right now. Then one day she was like, what, you trying to kill me? Y'all, look, it ain't just me. Y'all, don't y'all act like my grandmother crazy. Like, if some of y'all heard that too. But at the end of the day, what happens is when they leave, then we're all trying to figure it out. So the person we depend on the most to give us guidance in life is no longer here to tell us to do with the things that they valued. And so I understood my mother she was our matriarch. So when she was gone, we lost a lot. So that's where we needed direction. Get that box, put all those documents in there, and don't hide the code. So why don't you sit down with the kids, and this is what we're missing in the house. We're missing this. What happened to the dinner table we used to have? What happened to it? Because guess what? You talking about money when you eat anyway on Sunday. Food, it applies to money. Greens is money. Mac and cheese is money. Y'all see where I'm going? I ain't gonna keep going. I want to start rapping. But y'all get it. Go back to that table. I'm ending my conversation right here. Sit down, go through the policies, go through all the assets. Because why you saying you leaving a legacy which you won't even teach them how to maintain it when you're gone? Because you think tomorrow is going to happen. What if it doesn't happen? So you worked your whole life to give them $1 million that they're going to lose within 30 days. And you think, oh, can't nobody lose $1 million in 30 days? Well, $1 million last 10 years ago ain't $1 million today. They say 100,000 is only 57,000 now. Okay. On that note, y'all, that's all I have for you. I hope y'all got something out of that. Nothing? Come on. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hand it back over to Jerron and the panel. Stay for it. And you cannot remember, we're giving 9 $500 prizes away to go towards that mortgage. Thank you to APOA, as well as Pastor Brooks. He matched us last week. We said 4 to help towards mortgage and down payments and all that things for home to get you started. And then he said, I'm going to do 5 of them. But you got to be here. And that's why none of y'all text y'all cousins, because y'all didn't want them to win. I know. Thank you, everybody.
Let's give it up for Larice. Amen. Larice is a very special man, and even from doing these seminars with him, I was like, you know what? Let me hire this guy as my accountant to get my stuff together. So we all are kind of taking in this knowledge together. And so next up, we're going to do a panel on making home ownership a reality, which will also include a Q&A. And so I want to invite Colin Allen up to be our moderator. And I want to see Kimberly Halton with Community Home Lending Advisors at Chase. Naja Morris, real estate broker at Property Chicago. You can clap. That's okay. Ken Norkis, senior loan officer at Great Mortgage. And Foster Wilson, president of Dearborn Realtors Board.
Good to see everybody again. We've got I think a pretty good wealth of knowledge up here, and even we had some canned questions, and Larice gave us a whole bunch of good stuff to follow up on here as well. So we'll do just a few questions to the panel here, and then kind of open it up, because I'm sure you guys have a ton of questions that you would like, and we got a lot of knowledge collectively here on the stage to help you. This one is on. We all right? Perfect. So we can start off, and maybe I'll start to my left here, Fausta, if you want to kind of kick it off.
Okay.
Just give me, what's your, if you can give us a little bit of background into what you do, what drives you, and kind of what's your home ownership story, right? Has it played a role in your life or your business or anything like that? And just give us a little bit of background, please.
Sure thing, Colin. So I have some notes, because I tend to get long-winded, so I took some notes so that I wouldn't take up everyone's time. How are you doing? Y'all look good out here. So I'm running in from the Bud Billiken Day Parade, if I can give you a little background. I grew up in this neighborhood. I see some familiar faces. Hey, Kim. Yes, so I was a citizen of the Woodlawn area. I used to come in here when it was the Route. Oh my God, I'm aging myself, right? It was the Route 66 skating rink. However, I've been in real estate for almost 10 years. Next year will be 10 years full time. Clap it up for that. 10 years. I currently serve as the president of the Dearborn Realtors Board, which is the oldest black trade association in the country. We've been around since 1941. Our mantra is democracy in housing. I'm also the principal broker for Your Key Consulting Group, powered by Exit Strategy Realty. My homeownership story started in 2013. I took the test, took the class, passed it, and then I was looking to purchase and didn't know anything about the process. So I became licensed and became the broker for my then husband and I to move through that entire process. So I was the broker on the deal. I helped with getting his credit repaired, finding the lender, finding the attorney, the entire process from start to finish, and we purchased then a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home out in Dalton. So I didn't know anything. I thought that the broker did everything. I didn't know it was a team until I got licensed and assisted us through the process. Then since then, I've assisted my brothers, cousins, family, friends, strangers. I love this industry so much, especially coming into rooms like this, and I get the looks that I'm getting directly from you right now. Like, she looks so young. She doesn't look like she knows too much, right? But no, speaking and learning all of this knowledge over these last 10 years, I'm so grateful for the process. That was enough, Colin.
Naja, how about you?
Hello? Okay. I heard someone else say that I looked young too when I was walking up. God bless you. I've been in the industry for 13 years. I am full-time. I'm proud and honored to lead the MB team, which is the #1 team on the South Side. We're #1 We are #1 in Woodlawn, Chatham, Washington Park, and Grand Boulevard of Bronzeville. And we are an all-black women team, and we all reign on the South Side of Chicago. Most of our work is in community stabilization, property rehabilitation, and new construction. And our passion projects right now are getting people like us of color to build in our own communities. So if that's a landlord, a mom and pop investor, flipper, etc., moving them to the ground up development space, as well as mentoring, training, and coaching specifically black women in the real estate field. And I am, small tidbit about my home ownership journey, I am an investor. I own 2-flat, 3-flat in Woodlawn, Bronzeville, and my single family home, which I don't really consider an investment. But we can get into that later.
Excellent. Thank you, Naja. Kimberly, how about you?
Hello, I am Kimberly, and they're gonna make me sound like I'm old, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. I've been in the industry for 23 years as a home lending advisor, and when I say my best friend, his name is James Woods, he was a broker for Century 21. It was the best thing he made me do. I was a young mom, and he said, look, you want to take care of that baby? You're going to do some loans. And I guarantee you she going to eat, and you're going to put her through college, and you're not going to worry about a thing. And that is exactly what I have been able to do. She went through college, no debt. I paid it out of pocket because I've been able to help people it became a passion, right? So I've been able to help get financing for people in my community and have them to become homeowners, as am I. Yes, I've been a homeowner since about, 2005? I bought my first home. I was in a townhome, but then I bought an actual home in 2005. I've been there. I'm still there. It's going on 20 years. Whoa. Good. See, I told y'all they're going to make me sound like I'm old, you know. That's, amen. But yeah, ultimately, this is it's a passion for me. I absolutely love it. And I'm happy when I see people that look like me become homeowners. And when he said they're not making any more land, they are so correct. He's not making no more land. So I can say, speaking on, home ownership, I am the homeowner of a single family home. I am a co-owner, which I made my daughter, who was 28 at the time, buy a condo because she didn't want a house and she didn't want a building, but you're going to buy something because what you're not going to do is rent. And I'm your mother. You're not going to pay nobody else's mortgage. If you're going to pay something, it's going to be your own. So we compromised, and I allowed her to I allowed her at 28. Yep, I'm that mother. I allowed her to get a condo, so I'm the co-owner on that. And I made her, go in with me, and we have 2 lots in Linwood.
Ken, how about you?
Well, thank you for having us. This is an amazing event. So happy to be a part of it. I kind of stumbled into real estate. I was a real estate finance major at Southern Illinois University, and I had to do a take-home appraisal. So I walk in this RE/MAX office, and I'm looking and asking for listings to do a 4-unit appraisal. And she looks at me, she goes, "You'd be really good at this." And I'm like, "What is this?" She goes, well, you'd be a lender. You'd go around, you'd talk about numbers, you love people and numbers. That's what real estate is. And so she was right. I graduated the next summer, and I've started working in this business. You're going to laugh. 27 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would be one of the weirdos in my friend group that love my job. And I still have attorney friends that are like, you're a nerd. You love this. You eat, sleep, breathe it. You work out in your suit. And it's the truth. Because what happens is, this is an industry where you could take a few $1,000s with a plan and turn it into a few $100,000. And I mean that. And so one of the things I like coaching clients to do is buy a multi-unit first, and then they could buy their single family. Not the other way around, because it's harder. But we'll talk about that. This is all about, here's what I believe. And I've owned over 20 homes in the last 25 years. And I own a multifamily in the city, so I believe in it. And we have, great tenants, and they're Chicago HUD housing vouchers. They're phenomenal. I self-manage it. I'm friends with them. They call me, text me. We take care of it. I could show you exactly how it works and how to profit from it, because it's real. Like, you could literally live for free. We'll talk about this later. Just absolutely love real estate, love the opportunity to be here, and happy to be a part of any discussions in the future.
For our potential investors in the room, I think you got a lot of knowledge up here. If you got questions, so keep those in mind. I didn't realize when we sat down, I got my real estate professionals over here on the left, and I got my lenders here on the right. So I'm gonna start. Kimberly, I'll kick this one to you, but this is open for everybody. What are the most significant barriers that you see, and for you, Kimberly, from the lending side, to people who are trying to get into homeownership here in Chicago?
Okay, let me tell y'all a little bit something about me. I am direct, straight to the point. I don't hold back, okay? So y'all gonna bear with me. Just give me a little grace. But the barrier is your credit and your finances. When I look at them bank accounts, I see all the, what do you call them? Klarnas, all the Zales, the afterpays. If you can't afford to buy it, if you got to put it on the layaway, that means you don't need it. Put your money aside and wait till you can buy it. All those, because it hurts your debt to income ratio, and we'll talk about that a little later. And because we're not good stewards over our money is the issue. And then our credit. We were never, in our areas, we were never really taught what credit is. Now, some things we can blame on somebody else, but once you get a certain age, you have to look at yourself. Take a look in the mirror. It's too much out there for us not to know how to manage our credit. It's a free credit report that you can get. You can see what's going on with it, and from there, you can try to fix it. It is very important. I'm going to go one further. Chase has an app. It's called Credit Journey. You can go on that app. You can put your information in. It has a simulator. In that simulator, it will tell you what you can do to help you increase your score. It'll say, oh, you have $10,000 in debt. If you pay your debt down to $3,000, you'll see your score increase approximately by 60 points. It is ABC 1, 2, 3. It is not difficult. We need to be aware of what's on our credit. That's first and foremost. And we need to be more mindful on where we spend our money. Those are the two biggest areas that I see where we fall short.
Anybody else?
I add on, Colin. What I've been seeing, and Naja more than likely can attest to it, appraisal bias that has been taking place in a lot of our areas, lack of inventory, affordable inventory, let me say that, in our areas. Yeah, that's what's been going on right now. Naja, if you want to add on to it.
So on the affordable inventory piece, and this is one that we get into a lot, from the policy side.
Mm-hmm.
What are you running into? I think a lot of what we would see is the builders aren't building a lot of like starter homes, right? Which you would consider that kind of first house. From the investment, from the developing side, like are there things that you that stand in your way, right, in terms of trying to do stuff here in town?
Sure. As I mentioned, our team specializes in new construction sales, access to capital. Okay. Lenders just do not want to fund, and they certainly do not want to fund with this with the same underwriting criteria on the south side that they do elsewhere. It is just harder to be able to build here. And then we couple that with the affordability and the market rates of our inventory and the cost to build, and it often just is challenging and it doesn't make sense. So in order for it to make sense, it just has to be subsidized. It has to have government subsidy in a substantial amount, usually free land, usually a huge cut on the actual, usually a huge grant to make it affordable. I mean, right now we're looking at a 2,400 square foot home minimally to build $350,000 to $400,000. That's not including the land. That's not including any holds. That's assuming everything goes well, just with a 10% margin. $350,000 to $400,000. The lenders can be more specific on this, but usually affordability right now is around $300,000. So it has to be subsidized. And coupled with that, our black builders or builders that are just building in our neighborhoods are not able to get the construction financing because redlining, sure, it's not broadly advertised, but it's still happening every single day.
Oh, no problem, Naja. No problem. But as the State of Housing and Black America report, the SHEBA report, which is presented by the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, this year's report states that black applicants are 2.5 times more likely to have their homes undervalued, costing them equity at purchase and resale. So it's a little bit different than purchasing in our counterparts' neighborhoods. And plus, we're first-time buyers. We're not second-generation or third-generation buyers. A lot of the African-American communities are. This is the first time purchasing.
So are you seeing, on the lending side, are you seeing, some of these valuation issues that we're talking about here when you're, you get a client who's, maybe approved for a loan, but trying to find a house?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I haven't had a lot of appraisal issues. When I have a buyer, I have 5 contracts right now. 3 out of the 5, I haven't gotten the other 2 back, but they all came in at value, if not a couple $1,000s more. But let me be clear, and up front, I'm in the south suburbs too, so I'm not in these areas. I'm not in those homes. Let me say that is in Lansing, Homewood, Tinley, not so much in the inner city. So with that being said, that could definitely be a real thing in these areas, but I have not experienced that because a lot of my buyers are in the south suburbs.
And just anecdotally, I had 2 appraisal issues in Flossmoor just this year. And one of them, we came in $125,000 below. It was not a Chase loan. Let me just be very clear. I got you, girl. But I want to say this, because we can get into appraisals, and that can be an entire panel. And this is not a sales pitch whatsoever. But you need a realtor that understands the value of your community. Correct. A realtor that not just sells in your community, but is sold on your community. Because immediately, the last one was in Ballantree, for any of you all that are familiar with Flossmoor. It is one of the planned developments with some of the most beautiful homes in the south suburbs. People have bought into that community then the market tanked, and all of their equity is in that community. But we have all of these external brokers coming in, not caring, so there hasn't been a single home that's sold for over $600,000, and there won't be. I came in there and I said, this woman has spent $200,000 maintaining the property. We are going to X out that appraisal. We're going to switch to a new lender. I worked with that new appraiser. We went line by line on all of those updates. We were the first home to sell over $700,000 in Ballantree since inception. And when I tell you, and I think people say that realtors open doors, like we take a key and we unlock it, but we have to look at your realtor as we open the doors of opportunity. And for us, for Black and brown folks, our wealth is in our equity. So what you don't want to do is select a realtor that's from the North Shore and cares about the gladiolas and not about your community and is not going to fight that appraisal, because that is doing the work.
Absolutely. Okay, Naja. All right, Naja.
You've unlocked a really good topic here, though, right? If we're looking at credit and down payments and things like that, this is one that we haven't gotten into a ton in the past. But what opportunities are there for folks? You've got folks up here who are all professionals in the real estate and lending industries. How do you get into that, right? Like if you're looking for a solid, well-paying job, like how'd you get into real estate?
I don't know if I'd recommend getting into real estate right now.
Or would you recommend? No,
would you? Would you?
That's a great point. Not head forward like I did. I jumped in full time in 2016. Then I had a husband that had a good job, good paying job, working for the railroad to assist. But within my first 6 months in real estate, actually within my first 30 days in real estate, I was on a team. So on the team, I was able to get knowledge, experience, expertise on the accelerated path than a lot of the more seasoned brokers. So within my first year in real estate, I closed 29 deals. Right. It was crazy. I was really working, right? But I was on a team. And after that first 10 months being on the team, I went solo as a solo agent, still with KW then. And I went solo and used a lot of the expertise that I learned on the team, and I was a solo agent with my own clients. Right now, it seems as if everything is so microwave in real estate. Everybody's thinking like closing deals in heels. You're going to close 15 deals in the first month. No, the interest rates are different. Interest rates are teetering around 6.5%, 7.25% right now. Then when I was closing all of these deals, the interest rates were 3 to 4%. So it was different. Also, I came with customer service and sales background to assist with transitioning into the real estate field. But right now, it's a little different. Naja, would you agree, jumping in?
Yeah, I think it's a very challenging profession, transparently. I would say for anyone considering the field of real estate sales to be able to say yes to a few things, an unparalleled level of grit. You have to be...
That's a nice way to put it.
a self-starter. You have to be self-motivated intrinsically, because when you can't operate on how you feel in entrepreneurship. The second thing I would say is you have to have an unparalleled ability to turn every single no into a yes.
Correct.
Because
if you don't, you don't.
In client service, you have to be able to say yes. It doesn't matter if that's not your area of expertise. You have to be able to say, I will do it for you. I will find the person for you. So if you can say yes to those two things, and then I guess in this climate be okay with not having immediate gratification, I would say why not? But it's definitely a field where you have to be in the paint all the time.
What kind of opportunities are on the lending side? I mean, we've gotten into a little bit on the the appraisal side, but you could always hear that there's a shortage of appraisers. And kind of working on the lending, the appraisal, the valuation side. Like what kind of opportunities might be available over there? From a career standpoint, yeah.
Yeah. So from a career standpoint, I'll just speak on my behalf. I've worked for banks. I've worked for brokers, which is what I currently work for now. So we're independent. We're sort of able to look at 150 different options every day. In that realm, there's no salary. You only work for your client, and you get paid when you close a loan. End of story. You don't get paid more because the interest rate's higher. So these interest rates hurt. And I did some study before this, and rates around 6.5, 7 like they are now, depending on program and credit scores. In 1972, they were that. And then they jumped up in the 80s to 18%. Then they came back down in the 90s. Toward the end, they just touched this level. So 70s all the way up, down to the 98 when I started. And I remember in 98, the challenge isn't always just the interest rate. It's what was it before. So I remember Y2K. Is anyone here old enough to remember what that means? So I worked for a bank at the time, and the rate was 6.5. I come in the next day. There's nothing wrong with Y2K. Computers didn't wipe out everybody's bank accounts, and that's what was supposed to happen. Rates started to trickle up. Next month, they hit 8.5 because fear brings rates down, and greed brings them up. So what we're experiencing now is similar. We had such low rates in 2000 and 2001 in the 2s, 3s, and then all of a sudden they shot up to 8. And so the difference is what's really challenging. So right now, it's hard to sell something that costs. So it's hard to sell something that cost way more than it did a year ago, and that's where we're at. So as far as getting into lending, I would probably say not residential mortgage at this point. There's plenty of other things to lend on. So would you agree?
He said, don't get it, don't do it. No.
So it's a tough market to work in, Anna.
So here I go. Man, I love Chase. Jared, tell him I said I love Chase. I can't say the same thing, unfortunately.
That's fair.
I have a salary. And Chase is hiring. But you have to also realize that Chase is one, if not the largest bank there is, right? We have opportunity everywhere. You cannot go any place and not find a Chase. We have a rec open right now for home lenders. They just, we're hiring. So I cannot say that it's a bad thing. But is it getting tight? Yeah, it's getting a little tight. It is getting a little tight because we have so many, as a community home lending advisor, my job is to be in the community. My job is to educate. So I do a lot of home buyer workshops. I do a lot of hand-holding and helping you with your credit and telling you what you need to do. So for me, I walk you through. So yeah, it take a little longer for us to get to the end game, but just know that you have someone there in the branch that's going to help you. And with that, people feel a little bit more comfort, like they're not just a churn, like not just somebody, oh, she can't help me, so now I gotta go. No, because I know that client is on my program, and I know they're gonna come back. So I have, I have a churn of clients that's always coming through because they're either here with the credit, or they're here saving money, or they're here ready to get their approval. So they're going through the process to come through.
Good. So we touched a little bit earlier, just kind of generally on credit scores. You said Chase has a tool that talks about it, or can tell you what to do. What goes into a credit score? Why do you need it? And this is like for anybody, right? As you're dealing with, on the lending side, what is it that you're using it for? Are there, do you have to use a credit score? Right?
Yes, we use it. We use all three. You have TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. And at Chase, our minimum is a 620, and we use the middle score. But what is a credit score? How we look at it? Again, let me just put my disclaimer out. This is Kim talking, not Chase. I have to say that, right? It shows who you are. It shows your character. It shows how do you pay your bills? Are you responsible or are you irresponsible? Do Chase want to give you some money and you haven't paid any of your bills? Everything is charged off? Would you loan somebody some money if you saw their credit and you saw a ton of collections, charge off, bankruptcy, foreclosure? Would you give somebody? So that's what they're looking at. They're looking to see how you manage your money and your credit, and it speaks to your character. That's Kim speaking. If I had to break it down, that's what it is.
And do you have to have, I think one of the things that we see when we're out, polling, talking to people in the communities, there's this perception that you've got to have like an absolutely like pristine, like perfect credit score, right? Like what
Not
is,
at all.
what's good and what do you have to have?
620. A 620 is your minimum. And with that 620, you may have a medical collection, that's fine. But you paid everything else on time. No problem. You may have a bankruptcy. If it was 24 months old, we're good to go. Come on, let's go. I have a program for you, right? I'm saying if everything is bad and you at a 470, then no, we cannot assist you. But if you have a 620 and you have a blemish or a couple flaws, then that's something we can work with, right? If you're at a 580, trust and believe. I'm going to work with you and I'm going to get you to that 620. It may not be today, but I'm going to get you there and I'm going to show you what you need to do and I'm going to tell you what you need to do. You might not like me at that moment, but when that credit score increases, you're going to be like, girl, you all right with me? So that we can move forward and purchase your home. So yes, you can have some flaws and blemishes, but I'm saying they look at it and that determines who and what you've done previously in your life and how you're going to manage your bills. And it is important. Yes, ma'am.
I see we've got a question, please.
We looked at the data earlier and saw how there appears to be a pattern that people that are black are falling in these lower categories of home ownership, et cetera, et cetera. And now we're talking about credit. And my mind just can't help but jump to some of the leadership of the country. And they have horrible credit and they have horrible character. And I just find myself thinking, why do I want to be part of that system that doesn't like me, that mistreats me? Now, granted, big picture, I understand I want to have a legacy to pass on to my grandkids. I get it. But I do feel frustrated as I'm listening to understand that for some communities, some populations, their credit doesn't matter. They can still go ahead and get those loans. And our community is looked at as subpar in our financial accomplishments. I just want to throw that out.
I think I want to jump. Can I jump? I'm over here like, oh, she's speaking my language over here. Yes. It's funny that you say that because in the African American communities, and Naj, I'm going to have to hold you back for this, right? Because in the African American communities, having these conversations is like ministry. It's in the mindset. It starts in the mindset first. The National Association of Real Estate Brokers, the Sheba Report, states that 44% of African Americans are homeowners, opposed to around 73% of our counterparts that are homeowners. See, we were going around the board 400 years without any help, right? So we're coming in, we already behind the 8 ball. I feel like I'm with family if I can speak freely. Can I speak freely? Okay. So it seems as if when we're coming into these conversations, as I mentioned earlier, we're first-time buyers. We are lifelong renters. So with starting the mindset that you can afford to purchase, The Wire, the Women in Real Estate report, and the Sheba report states that over 2 million Black Americans are mortgage ready right now. Did you hear that number? 2 million. The only difference is they don't know it. Is this thing on? They don't know that. Naja, go ahead. You can jump in now.
I just want to say this. As someone who is extremely passionate about the Black diaspora, who's overly read, if we stick to the mindset of focusing on a system that was never designed for us, we will stay stuck. So what I have had to realize in my person is that I have to figure out my own individual acts of resistance. And for me, yes, that's reading. And if there's something happening within my community, or if there's an author, if there's a movement, etc., I want to know about it. I want to know why the Gap is called the Gap. I want to know why everyone migrated to Bronzeville during the Great Migration and everything in between. I want to know block by block what's happening in my community.
Yep.
Also an act of resistance, I want to make sure that everybody that comes across my path knows that they can purchase a home. Yeah. I want to make sure that everyone that comes across my path knows that after they purchase a home, they can be an investor or an investor first. I want to make sure that everyone that comes across my path knows that it doesn't matter how much money that the Lord blesses me with, I am going to stay in a Black community and I am going to rebuild my community. So what we need to do, yes, the system was not designed for us. From Jim Crow to the new Jim Crow to us being locked in cages, it's not for us. But what we need to do is make sure that for our children and for our children's children, we are doing our part to make their lives just a little bit better. And that starts with home ownership.
Also, what goes with home ownership, the equity. So you're purchasing the property. Yes, we're concerned about the interest rates. As my aunt always says, you're worried about the wrong stuff. You're concerned about the interest rate. Get in the home. You can come and refinance the interest rate later. Continue to build the equity in the property so that, now watch this, when it's time for the children to go away to college, or if it's time for you to renovate the property, pull the equity out the property and do the renovations. You don't.
And then let me chime in.
Go ahead.
Said, you worried about the wrong thing. You worried about a 6%, 7%. Why not pay 6 and 7% for myself as opposed to paying 100%?
Come on,
to somebody else. Because what you're doing is you're not just paying their mortgage, you're paying them a little bit extra because you're renting from them. So now you're paying well over what the 7% would be if you were paying for yourself. And then let me say this, interest rates are not 7% right now. They have gone down. Let's give a little credit when credit is due. I like being transparent. So right now we are about like a 6.325, 6.5.
I know they change daily.
So the rate does not change daily. Okay. The cost of the rate changes daily. A 6.5 is a 6.5 every day. Okay. It's what you pay to get that 6.5, and those are called points. And I think we done jumped all off onto something else. So I'm a bag up.
Please.
We got a question over here. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I want to say to how do you pronounce it? Naja? Naja, thank you for helping my son close on his house. I'm Kamari Ward's mom. So thank you very much. So Kamari is a second-generation homeowner because of this work that's happening today. But what was really interesting for me, because I am in the suburbs, which she knows, and I'm moving back to Chicago. We'll be talking very soon. But one of the things that you communicated, I'm sorry, Brenda? Kim, I do apologize. You said the credit score is a minimum of 620. And so that was a lot of conflicting information that I received. So can you kind of clarify that? And more importantly, with the 620 as a minimum, does that also mean that if you come in at 620, what does your interest rate look like and your buying power? And then thirdly, and I do this a lot, so I do apologize, I packed a lot into questions, for someone who's purchasing a second home, because my current home will be now income property. And so if I purchase a second home, what does that interest rate need to look like for me? Thank you.
So this is how you know I've been doing this for a long time. Interest rates and prices quoted are subject to change based upon credit score, loan to value, and other factors. So with that being said,
that's all that little print at the bottom.
That's that little print.
Right?
There you go. That's that little print at the bottom. But I'm gonna work backwards and forwards, right? You're buying that home that you're in is going to become an investment property. So that means the home that you're buying will be a primary property, and they're going to judge that as a primary property when it comes to credit. I can't tell you what your score is going to be or what the interest rate is going to be, because again, there's a lot of other factors. You have debt to income ratio, your LTV, credit, type of house, if it's a condo, if it's a single family, if it's a multi-unit, all of that determines what your interest rate is going to be. But what I will say, if you're working with someone and they give you an interest rate and they do not quote an APR, which is your annual percentage rate, they are hiding fees, they are not transparent, right? And that sometimes lead to predatory lending, right? So when you hear me say, oh, I'm going to give you 6.375, I'm going to immediately say with the APR of 6.562, right? So if they don't quote the rate plus the APR, ask. Because if it's a 6.3 and your APR is 8, you got a bunch of fees in there somewhere, right? So you need to know what to listen for and what to ask for. So 620, you have 3 scores. 620 is the one, it might be Equifax, TransUnion, it's the one in the middle. That is the minimum. Unfortunately, those are Chase rules. It don't matter what type of program it is. Agency, FHA, VA, Chase has its own program, Dreammaker. 620 is our minimum across the board. First time, investment, refinance, across the board is 620, no matter what program or what type of loan you're trying to buy. You are so welcome. Did I answer everything? Okay.
So on that note with credit, one of the reasons why I work for banks that have like a company that has so many choices is because we can go as low as a 500 credit score with 10% down. Now, it's not common and not recommended, but technically there's certain, like VA doesn't really even have a credit score. So what happens is it's the banks that choose to say, well, I want this kind of borrower, I want that. Sort of like the redlining we're talking about, right? In a weird way, a bank will take your money, but they don't want to give you theirs. And we'll talk about this in a little bit, because one of the things I promised I would say is how to get excited about buying a house and why. And so right now, hold this thought. So with the 580 credit score, I believe there's 2 kinds of 580 credit scores. There's a 580 credit score on the way down, and then there's a 580 on the way up. And that's what we help with. I do a lot of educational seminars with CAR and do the same thing. We teach, right? I'm also a financial planner. I didn't mention this. I'm licensed Series 63, 65, 7, CRPC designation, life and health. So I'm a fiduciary, which means I have to act in the interest of the client over my own. So I can't just sell a product like she was mentioning, and people will do that. They'll sell a 6.3% rate with $18,000 in fees and think they're doing right by the customer. It happens all the time. So I promise you, the devil is in the detail. So
what kind of fee, when you're talking about the difference between the quoted rate and the APR, what kind of fees would be built into this, right? Like, is this, I'm coming with, I want to put no money down, or I want to, what would drive that difference, right?
So, and I want to touch on this just a little bit more. If we look at the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, which is a government-sponsored entity, they've created homeownership so money doesn't run out. Otherwise, a $10 million bank would run out when they lent their $10 million and couldn't lend it more. So the government created a conduit where the money refills itself. So whether you work with someone like me or Chase or whoever, they can resell that money to the government again, and the government will figure out who actually owns it. So we become servicers of the money, but the government replenishes it, so it never runs out, right? We don't want that. Has anyone here seen It's a Wonderful Life where they ran out of money? The movie? We don't want that to happen ever with the building and loan. So, with that said, the most important thing that I want to say is that the government has published all these different reasons for making the rate higher. And you mentioned a lot, but I'm going to add a couple more. Your debt to income, the length of time that you need the lock for. If someone's closing in 30 days versus 6 months, it's a big difference because the what if of what can happen to the interest rate completely changes over 6 months. Some of the other things that are important is the type of loan you're taking. Are you pulling cash out or is it rate and term? Now, let's just say you're going through a life event. There are certain instances where you can pull cash out because maybe it's a divorce and you wouldn't have to pay the cash out refinance. So I'm divorce lending certified, so I deal with that a lot. I understand how to navigate it. It's super important. With that said, we have a grant money program that starts at 600. So if your score is 600, we give you all the money you need down to purchase a home. So it's technically, let me rephrase that. It's not grants, it's a loan on top of a loan. So it does need to get repaid back. So, and I do believe that we're at the top of the interest rate cycle and it's going to come down. So I believe you could, with home appreciation, wrap those two into one in the future and be in an even better position than you are today. So,
and let me. He mentioned something about the money that they can give you. Another thing with them play on words. Grant is given. Down payment pays back. Okay? So when you go someplace and they say, "Oh, I have a grant." Tell them to break it down. What does that mean exactly? What's attached to it? Do I have to live in the house for 10 years? Or if I move out, I got to pay part of it back? Is it a second mortgage against my house? Ask the questions. I can clearly say that $5,000, every home in this area gets it. Every home in Bronzeville, not Hyde Park, I ain't going to say that, and not Morgan Park, or not Beverly. But $5,000, it is a true grant. And I'm gonna go back to something someone said earlier, that Chase gave $1 billion. I want to talk about that because that grant is a part of the initiative. Chase is nationwide. It was actually $30 billion that Chase gave. It had nothing to do with one person giving, issues. What it was, it came about from George Floyd. Okay? They saw it was an issue. They gave $30 billion nationwide and $1 billion to the Chicagoland area. That is what it was. All right? But we do have $5,000 in this area in the event. You do not have to pay it back as long as it's a primary property. Don't matter, up to 4 units. And it's address driven. But again, every home in this area, Woodlawn, Bronzeville, Chatham, Auburn, Gresham, Roseland, West Pullman, Ada Park, Kenwood, South Shore.
Can it be flexed on either side too?
It has to be a primary, I'm sorry.
Can it be flexed on either side for closing or down payment? Flexed on either side to down payment or?
Yes. It can be flexed. So if you're going to sell, you mean if you're selling one?
No, I mean, can it be used towards closing costs or?
Yes, it can be used towards your closing costs or down payment, except for FHA. FHA will not allow you to use it towards your down payment. With FHA, you have to show that you have your own 3.5%, right? And so they'll let you use it towards your other fees.
Can it be layered and stacked?
It can be layered and stacked. It absolutely can be. But you don't have to pay it back, is what I was getting at.
You can use it with other grants,
yes,
correct?
You can use it with other grants.
Chase is not paying us, by the way.
Yeah. All except IDA. All except IDA. It will not go with IDA because IDA is a bond. And they want you to service it, and Chase is not going to service IDAs. loans. No, we're not going to do that. We'll service our own, but not theirs. But you can stack it with other grants, like the MMRP that was out there, that $30,000. So yes, I had like 3 or 4 people that got $35,000 to go towards their down payment, and the $5,000 you don't have to pay back. It's not a second mortgage.
Yeah, so important knowledge there on what you would have to do. Before we start asking any more, are there any more questions from the audience? I think we very much open up and answer things that the people have.
I want to finish with one thing, if possible.
Please.
So when you're getting excited about buying, I want you to think about this. So when you take a mortgage, you're using somebody else's money, right? When you give a bank your money, they're using yours. So if you think about it, does anyone here, have you ever used an Uber before? So Uber's built $1 billion business on other people's money. How have they done it? They're in the car business. They don't own one car. So Google is in the information business, the website ranking business. They don't build websites. They use yours and decide who should be top, and then sell sponsorship above yours. So again, they're using your information. Anyone here use Facebook? Do they make the pictures or they use ours? Right? And let's talk about, when you look at that, they've been able to build some of the biggest companies using other people's money. So I want you to think about that. You pull into a big city, you're going to see the tallest buildings. It's bank, oil, and you're also going to see insurance. Sears Tower. Sears and Roebuck started Allstate. People don't know this, but they couldn't make the payment. MetLife was the lender, so it went to MetLife. And then does anyone here know what Willis Group does? Insurance. London's one of their biggest insurance companies. So my point is, when you're thinking, should I or shouldn't I, and how to, it's use other people's money to get rich. And that's what we're here to teach.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
No one asked for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Also, there were a lot of you all taking pictures. Please tag me on Instagram. I'm still a millennial, older millennial, so shameless. At Najalie, Najaleigh, the French spelling, Najaleigh, or Naja Morris. You'll find me on Instagram. But I just would like to say this, if I could leave one piece of unsolicited advice. Your home purchase or your investment purchase is not altruism. It's not community service. It is not how you are supporting your cousin, your uncle, your baby's mama, your friend, your sister. I don't care. You do not have to work with a realtor just because you know them. Do your due diligence. If you want them to benefit from your home ownership purchase, we have referrals. You can have your agent give them a referral. But this will likely be the largest purchase of your life. It's going to be the difference between a capital gain, appreciation, equity, or cash flow if you're purchasing an investment property. And you need to make sure that you are guided every step of the way and not just working with somebody because you have a kinship.
That is fantastic advice.
That's good, Naja.
Builds on sage advice from our friend Larice here. If if you can solve a problem,
You got another question?
you can get paid for it. But seek out the people that are best positioned. So please.
So my question is, does this just pertain to the Chicago land, like Illinois land rather, or does this stand to sister states like Indiana? Because I'm from Chicago or whatever. I was here Sunday at church with my mom, but I actually reside in Indiana now, in East Chicago. So does that connect?
About the grant?
Yes, grants or any.
Absolutely.
Okay, just making sure.
Grant, let me tell you, we we are nationwide. So I work out, and that's one of my branches is in Indiana, 3680 Broadway, which is in Gary. Oh, and since you're there, are you looking to purchase? So let me tell you, you make sure you get my card, because Gary has somebody already know. Gary has a program where they're building the homes, right? You can still get the $5,000 grant. Gary has a grant. We can stack them. South Suburban has a Gary grant. I can stack it. That's $15,000 I just gave you right there to go towards the build of your home. So yes.
Important to note, even if you're not dealing with a national,
Right.
company,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Like that, there are a ton of things that are
Out there.
different from community to community. Make sure you seek out a trusted advisor where you live, be it a real estate professional, be it a lender, and ask those questions, right? Because there may be some very novel things that a certain city does that the one next door doesn't, right? And it's that is resources that could be available to you, and it's you got to do your homework, right? And that's why I think we want to.
And I know a lot of people don't say, "Oh, I don't want to live in Gary," but there are grants out there. So Lake County has money as well, which covers pretty much your Maryville, your Cherville, your Crown Point, Hammond, and some other areas that they cover, but it doesn't cover Gary because Gary has their own grant money. Just FYI.
Well, if that's it, we will please give our panelists a round of applause here. Appreciate all the knowledge that you have brought to the table today, and the experiences and connections that you've got. So again, thank you for everything that you've done for the folks here.
Colin, I do have one thing. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I come bearing gifts, right? Everyone who showed up today, you'll have access to a buyer's checklist. I can go ahead and send it over to Colin so he can get it out to everyone in the room. Also, I'm just like Naja. If you're going to post pictures, tag me, Foster_your key consultant on IG, and I'm Foster Wilson on Facebook. Yes, we want all of the content. Please clock that. Thank you.
I think I have stuff over there, a bio and a buyer's guide. I think my IG is on there. I wish I knew my marketing better. But I think
You can tag the Property Owners Alliance and Larice Purnell and all of your social postings as well. Please, we love it, and we'd love to interact with you and keep this conversation going.
All right.
So with that, I think a lot of there's been a lot of anticipation around the raffle. So we'll move right into it.
Reach in here and see what we pull out. So. All right. First number is 343-8041. 343-8041. And we're pulling 9, right? Correct. It's 9, right?
Correct.
9, okay. All right, that was 1. Yeah. Second number, 343-8010. Yes. Three, 8018. 343-8018.
Right. Must be 18 plus, must be present to win.
Okay. 343-8039. Three, 8052. Is that someone over there? Okay. Is you right there? That's a yes? No? No. So nobody has that number. 343-8052? No? All right. Going once, going twice. 343-8052. All right, I'm going to drop that one. 343-8036. Oh, there we have it. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 4 more. 343-8027. There we go. All right. 343-8031. Last 2. Trying to get in here. 343-8033. 343-8033. Going once, going twice. All right, we're going to scrap that one. 343-8015. All right, last one. 343-8024. There we go. So that's it. Congratulations, everyone. I'd like to turn it over to Colin to close us out.
Thanks again, everybody, for being here today and joining the American Property Owners Alliance and our partners to talk about housing, homeownership, and unlocking opportunity for families here in Chicago. Many of us are going to be around after the event. Feel free to stick around, answer some questions. We'll take some pictures, tag each other on social media. And Larice has got books for everybody. Please go over there and grab a signed copy of Larice's book, Financial Foundations. So with that, we'll close it up. And thanks for everybody for being here.
Can I get that picture?